Hi, it's Mark here. Planning a search is to give you an indication of what you should be doing when planning a search. Um, Quite often people just go into Google. The majority of people use Google and they just type something in and they let Google dictate to them what they would like to search for. And they just select and then they do a search. And they'll maybe get, sometimes they'll get millions of possible web page returns, sometimes tens of thousands, and they'll just pick from what they get with the top 10 that Google gives to them. I want you to take command there because what can happen as well is you can get lost in your search. If you're anything like me, I go into a bookshop, I can spend hours in there. And I might only be looking for one particular book, one particular topic. And yet I can go to almost every single part of that shop because I go, oh, there's something else there. Oh, there's something else. And I start reading here, reading there. Before I know it, hours have passed. It's the same online as well. When you're searching online, you can lose yourself with your searches. You can come across web page and you think, oh, that looks interesting. It's not what I'm looking for at the moment, but it might do me in the future. So let's have a wee look to see what we can do from here. So the first thing to do is to describe your search. So what I've done on the left hand side here is I've said here that I'm going to search for certain things. So I need to find information, study skills. So learning study skills, best way to learn in the home and classroom. I want to find out study skills that can help coursework and increase learning performance, as well as helping a student to improve their learning development. Learning to learn or learning to study more effectively by finding handy tips to study. Now you'll notice that what I've done is I've highlighted certain things here in red font because these are keywords or phrases that I can take from that. And then what I've done is I've looked through that description again. So if you describe what you're searching for first, that will give you an indication from there as to the keywords and the phrases and how you can change them around to make the best searches or try to. So the keywords and phrases of study skills, I just type study skills, and then the rest of this is using phrases and combining phrases in various different ways, and it's using Boolean searching techniques. Thomas Boole was a mathematician who came up with a concept of being able to search through data and to find what you're looking for through a mathematical process. Now, we don't have to do that, it's done for us by using these. So, using the phrases, and with the phrases, you use your quotation marks. Then there's the space. Then in capital letters, you usually write in capital letters, and then a space, and then the other phrase. So this one here, now these are all search criteria. Search criteria is what you would type into the search engine that you are using, and do use different search engines. Now different ones will work differently with Boolean. Sometimes you can use a plus for and a minus for not. There's various different other ways of doing it, but this is the correct way of Boolean. So the phrase here, homework study or classroom study. So it's different ways, different phrases that we would want in the returns. So the search engine would search for web pages with either of those phrases and the words together, homework study or classroom study. This one here, best way to learn phrase and study skills. So in other words, the web page must have both of those exact phrases as they are. And you can see that I've done that with the bottom one, learning performance, not by book. So we don't want to see a return of web pages that has the words, the phrase by book. Search criteria is what you put into the search engines. Google is the well-known one. We all know Google. Now, Google also has advanced search forms you can actually put into Google Advanced Search, and it will let you go to that that forum where you can fill that out. It uses Boolean behind the scenes and it creates the Boolean for you. It's also another good way of searching. Bing is another good one. It rivals Google. There's other ones, Yahoo. There's various different ones. There's meta search engines such as Dogpile. Yeah, I know that raises a few laughs sometimes, so it does, but you definitely remember it. Dogpile. It's very good. What that does is it searches more than one search engine at the one time and gives you the results just in one page. So a meta search engine can be quite useful for that, for quickly scouring more than one search engine at the one time. So that's a meta search engine. Behind the scenes is meta tags within web pages, and that's how search engines look for your keywords or your phrases. It looks to see if there's headings or if there's images with a description behind the scenes, because obviously robots can't see or read images, although that's changing with artificial intelligence. So that's how they work. Now, on that basis, a web designer will aim to get to the top 10 of Google. It will focus on Google, which then means that sometimes it's maybe not the best, because every search engine uses a different way of searching. Google is a well-known one to web designers. They try their best to find out, so you can be trained on how to actually build a web page to get yourself to the top 10. And they use links with social media and so on to get there. So you plan your keywords and you plan your phrases and the use of Boolean before you search. And it's more than one search to gather the information. You want to search using those various different ways of searching because it will give you different returns. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you within Google as to searching. So if we type in, you see that I've done this earlier for someone else. So if I type in crocodiles and I search for crocodiles, look how many possible web pages it's returned that has the word crocodiles. Now that could be crocodile clips, it could be crocodile anything. So it could be crocodiles. As long as it's got crocodiles in it, then it will return that for you. You'll see that Wikipedia is always up there, Wikipedia. However, the problem with Wikipedia is that it's not ideal for searching. A lot of universities don't accept it, so it's worth looking elsewhere. However, 164 million possible web pages. If I type in Australian, so I'm changing my keywords, it gives me nearly 6.2 million possible results. If I change that around, and it's just showing you I'm changing the keywords, I'm changing how I'm putting it in, that's now 6.6 million. But if I use quotation marks and search for Australian crocodiles, from the 6.6 million, I'm down to 42,500. And if I use Boolean, so I'm going to say and I want to say here that I want it to be Southern Australia and search. Now I've narrowed it right down to 456. Maybe not the best, possibly I want to change that. Northern Territories. 477. So you can see that I can narrow it down. I could change it again and expand it out. You keep on searching, but you plan first. Execute it and keep on trying. Use different search engines and enjoy your searches, but enjoy finding different returns each time. Thanks for watching. Bye just now.